What up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay. It's Tuesday here, man. We're trying to get some cash. Top Play Tuesday here. I'm your guy, Jay Money. We got our guy, Andy Lang, here with us, the prop guy from Wager Talk. What's up with you, Andy? Everything cool with you?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Been taking it pretty easy in NBA. It's been a very much a roller coaster season, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. I
Mm-hmm.
still continue to say that the last few seasons that were COVID affected have really thrown off the handicapping style for this season. I really do think it's made a big difference because some of the handicapping things that a lot of us have used in previous seasons are not working. So I've started to adjust a lot of the ways of handicapping. I got to say, 2023 started off much better than 2022 ended. So we're kind of making some tweaks here, and always got to focus on the injury report. There was a classic case yesterday. Rudy Gobert, questionable, questionable, questionable. Then he plays and has a monster game, and totally disrupted that entire game yesterday. But overall, things are going pretty good. Cashed a nice NBA bet last night, so excited to talk some NBA hoops with you as always, Jay.
As always, and you already know, man. We're trying to get. They saying news is coming out right now, man, about players, man. So let's see what happens. But you know how we do it, man. It's all business here on the show. First game up here, man. Let's go over here to the streets of Indiana here. Your streets, Andy. You got the Pacers getting 2 points at the house versus the Bulls. How we were kind of just talking about this game before. You thinking that the Pacers probably continue to struggle in this one? Andy, how you looking at this game, my brother?
Yeah, the Pacers' dream season has turned into a nightmare with Halliburton going out. If you want to know how good Halliburton is, just look at what the Pacers have turned into without him.
MVP.
Yeah, yeah. So, honestly, you just keep betting against the Pacers. Even if they squeak out a game, just continue to go back to them. They're losing against the spread. They're losing straight up. You got the Bulls. I know the Bulls are coming off of a back to back, but the Bulls team total is over 117 and a half. The Pacers are just giving up points left and right. I One of the calls I had yesterday was that Zach LaVine has just been on fire, but they played Atlanta, and Atlanta just has Zach LaVine's number. So I played his under points, rebounds, and assists, and sure enough, he went under. I think you can come back and play Zach LaVine over his points tonight, 25 and a half, or look at his points, rebounds, and assists. DeMar DeRozan killed the Hawks last night like he always does. So LaVine, I don't want to say he took the night off last night, but the team was not dependent on him last night. Look for LaVine. That's my favorite player in this game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Couldn't talk you off that. And yeah, Hunter was out yesterday as well, man. Like 40 minutes before the game started, they announced that Hunter's out as well. I was on Hawks first quarter and full game, and then when cast the first quarter, that was my best look. Did lose the full game in that one, man. A little bit of false hope. They tie the game up at the end of the third quarter and then go out rattle off, give up an 8-0 run to start the fourth quarter now. But yeah, I feel like Hunter really changed that game. We know the Bulls coming in off the vacation as well here, man. But I must say, man, I can only look towards Pacers here plus the two. I feel like this number is super short. It's super fishy as well. Feels super easy to take the Bulls here, but I don't like the spot here. Pacers coming off 2 days off of rest, teetering on a win as well. The last game versus Suns actually showed they're actually starting to play a little bit better without Halliburton over there. So that's why I feel like sometimes you kind of just have to watch the game. They did lose that game, but they were really scrappy and really could have had a chance to win that game. 4 times revenge game as well. They've lost 4 straight to the Chicago Bulls as well. Lost to them earlier this year as well by 15 points with Halliburton. Bulls were laying 7 in that game. This line opened up at -1. Super fishy, in my opinion. The line, just based on the line alone, kind of tells you that you should probably take the Pacers or stay off this game, in my opinion, here. So Pacers plus the 2, heavily lean that way, man. I can only look towards the Pacers in this game. Let's over here to the next game. Let's go to the streets of Miami here. This line is getting hit right now. It's going up to 4.5. We know that it's Brogdon. We know that Brogdon. Who else? It was Brogdon, Smart, and Horford were doubtful already. Now they're saying Jaylen Brown is out as well in this game here.
True.
Would you be looking towards the Heat in this game? Do you think it's going to be an easy game for the Heat to get it done? Celtics are 7-0 so far this season, 6-1 against the spread on back-to-backs, but obviously without some heavy hitters in this one. How you looking at this one?
This is crazy, Jay. As you were literally talking about that, all the props for this game went off the board on DraftKings. Every single prop, they just took the game completely off the board. The play that we hit last night that I will say that keeps hitting for Boston, especially now you can hit this one with Smart and Brogdon out, is if you have the domestic books using the same game parlay, taking Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum over 25.5 points. Even in a game that they got smoked, even Tatum went out for a little bit. They both got to 26 points. They cashed it. So it looks like we're not going to be able to play that again tonight. So obviously need to finalize the lineups here to see who exactly is playing for Boston. So right now, I just can't give any props for this game.
Exactly. Yeah, they're saying Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, and Brogdon all ruled out in this one. Heat do have the rest advantage in this one. Obviously, yeah, it's a tough game, man. Back-to-back plus third game in 4 nights, all on the road for the Celtics here. They are 2-1 versus the Heat this year, but this is playoff revenge as well. Remember, the Heat got kicked out of the playoffs from the Celtics last year, so would lean Heat here, not land the late number. You kind of missed out on it. It said -5 now. Total come down to 215. So do what you wish with that game. It's a tough one for me, man. Let's go over here to the streets of Madison Square Garden here, man. We got the Knicks getting 3 points at the house, 3.5 at some spots here. We got the Cavs laying 3 points on the road here, Andy. Revenge spot for the Cavs. They lost 81-92 on December 4th. They didn't have Jared Allen in that game. They scored a season low 81 points. Only scored 16 in the first quarter. I think we see the exact opposite in this one. I think the Cavs, I think they're going to bust out offensively. I don't bet props, but I do think that. I mean, you bet props. What do you think about Donovan Mitchell? I know I saw that 25.5 this morning. I like Mitchell's over points. This is his first game back after missing, I believe, like 4 games, but he's from New York area. He's going to want to ball out in MSG as well. I like the Cavs here -3. Andy, could you talk any of us off looking at some Donovan Mitchell props?
You've got a couple interesting storylines. I mean, the Knicks were going after Donovan Mitchell before they were going after Jalen Brunson. So you got to believe both those guys. This could be a Brunson-Mitchell type of little bit of a show up the other guy and going toe-to-toe with this one. I could not talk you off Donovan Mitchell. In fact, that number has creeped up to 25.5. Jalen Brunson's at 23.5. I don't see the Cleveland defense. Listen, we know that they're good because they control pace. And they have a slower pace, one of the slowest teams in the NBA. So it's tough to take overs, but I'm with you. This game could turn into a shootout. I'm looking at Julius Randle over 24.5. I couldn't talk you off of Donovan Mitchell. If I do lean one of these, I'm going to go back to Jalen Brunson, 23.5. He went under a couple games ago where we had him. He just had a horrible shooting night. And he still got to 20 points. The perimeter defense is not nearly as good as interior defense, especially if they've got Jared Allen back tonight. And then another interesting one that you can look at, Evan Mobley, on if you can find the right spots, can hit his rebounds and assists prop. If he's got an advantage on the boards, he normally can get quite a few rebounds, but then he's sneakily pretty good at some of these assists. I might look at Evan Mobley tonight over his rebounds and assists, especially if Mitchell's hot and can get some kickouts for open shots. Honestly, I probably look at Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, maybe slightly into Brunson just because his prop is 3 points lower than Donovan Mitchell, so you need less of those. But I'm with you. I don't see a low-scoring game like this last meeting.
So Mitchell prop went up to 26
and a half at minus 105.
Yeah, that one's getting some money, guys. It was at 25.5 this morning. So some people saying the same thing I'm seeing. In my opinion, I think he's going to want to show out in Madison Square Garden. And on the other side as well, it's like if you don't want to take Cavs -3, messing with the spread, I think their team totals are going to hit. The Knicks defense is dead last in the last 3 games in the NBA, guys. Over the last 3, without Mitchell Robinson, 30th in the league, man, in defense. So they're really missing him. They're missing his rebound as well, but for whatever reason, they're putting Sims in there. I don't know why they wouldn't try to start Hardenstein, but regards to that, Knicks are struggling right now on the defensive end. They're struggling to score as well, man. So what I'm looking at, I'll be looking at Cavs full game -3. I'll be looking at Cavs team total overs trifecta, man. First quarter, especially with them only scoring 16 points. The last time these two faced off in the first quarter, team season low 81 points. I think the Cavs bust out here offensively. I'd be looking at Cavs trifecta on a team total. Cavs could cast a trifecta spot, but I think that -3 for the full game is a spot there. And Donovan Mitchell props, that's what I'll be looking at now, my guys. It is his first game back, so it could be a little rusty, but I think he'll have some extra incentive to ball out here in MSG. I think this is a Cavs type of game, in my opinion. Let's head over here to the streets of New Orleans here, man. We got the Pelicans getting a point at the house versus the Nuggets, right? super fishy line. We don't know if Jokic is going to play in this one. We know that Michael Porter Jr. is out. The Pelicans have been struggling. This is somewhat of a must-win spot for them, needing to get back on track. I don't like the spot for the Nuggets. They got a date with the MVP in Giannis up there. So that's how I'm looking at Jokic, back-to-back MVP favorite this year. You want to show out versus Giannis up there in the Milwaukee the next day. So I don't like the spot for the Nuggets. In theory, it's supposed to take the Western Conference game more serious, but I'm telling you, man, this has happened like 5 or 6 times this season, and the teams, for whatever reason, take the other game more serious than the one they should, man. It's a wacky season, man. But how you looking at this game, Andy?
It really
I'm
is.
telling you, man. These are the spots that hit all the time, and they ain't hitting this year, man. But
You're so right, man. I can't argue with you. Well, okay. So because we know nothing about what's going on with the Nuggets, I think you can. I think we can reasonably get to the conclusion that these guys are probably not going to play when you have this many guys that are questionable. I mean, Bones Highland, Michael Porter's questionable. So if I'm looking at the Pelicans, I did not see the Trey Murphy kind of emergence here. It looks like he's in and Herb Jones is kind of out with the scoring. So I would look at Trey Murphy. His point total is only 14.5. You look at his recent games, 17, 18. He had a horrible game against Miami in a blowout where he only scored five. But before that, 17, 19, and 15. So he's been getting over this number 6 out of 7 games. And, if Jokic doesn't play, this just screams Valanciunas. He's been doing really, really well on the boards. He's been doing really well with the points. McCollum has kind of lowered his production a little bit. If you jump in on Valanciunas now and Jokic is ruled out, it should be a huge game, and then you're getting a steal on rebound props. I think his rebound number is only 10.5. I listen, we're on a gambling show. I'm a gambling man. I think I would take Valanciunas. If Jokic is in, they're going to need Valanciunas anyways, but I don't think Jokic plays. I don't think Highland plays. I don't think Porter does. And if that happens, Valanciunas be by far the biggest guy on the court. He should get to probably 14 or 15 rebounds without Jokic. But I think I like Trey Murphy the most, regardless of who plays for Denver. Trey Murphy's been getting the volume. Herb Jones has not. So give me Trey Murphy over 14.5.
Exactly. Yeah. No. And Herb Jones has been a little. He's been banged up as well. I believe it was his first game back after like 4 games the last game, man. But they do need the scoring from Murphy. I'm telling you, I can only look towards Pelicans here. And if Jokic is out, I don't see how I don't play Pelicans. This is a desperation spot for them. Obviously the Nuggets got some wins without Jokic, but it came to an end there versus OKC. We know that they're not going to win all the games without Jokic, right? If he doesn't play in this game, I would not look towards the Nuggets in this one. And if he doesn't play, also, I feel like they're really looking ahead to tomorrow's game at Milwaukee. It's already not a great spot. You go from Denver to New Orleans, and then back-to-back got to fly up to Milwaukee. It ain't necessarily the best of spots, in my opinion, but Pelicans, all 4 straight losses in must-win J mode, in my opinion, man. Last home, man, got smoked by 30 versus the Heat as well. There was a wire-to-wire win by the Heat there. So the way I look at it, Pelicans kind of sort of owe their home fans, in my opinion, man. So I say Nuggets, first game of a back-to-back. They had their 9-game winning streak snapped. This is the first game on the road after 5 straight home games. They've been playing a ton of home games here lately, man. 9 of their last 10 games have been at the house. 11 of their past 13 games have been home games, man. This is only their second road game in 2023, guys. So the Nuggets been really comfortable at the house. Now they going on the road here. I think that they could struggle or look at least a little bit more pedestrian, in my opinion. Jokic with a hamstring tightness. I don't think he plays both of these. So it's either they give him one more day extra rest, or is it they go ahead and play him and then probably rest him tomorrow. That's just the way I look at it. I can only look towards Pelicans here. And in my opinion, the line is kind of telling us as well that we might be one to look towards the Pelicans in this one. Looks super easy to take the Nuggets. This line actually was at 1.5 open for the Pelicans here. So I respect the odds makers opening number here. I heavily lean to the Pelicans. I think they get the job done in this one. Let's go over here to the streets of Dallas here, Andy. We got the Mavs laying 7 points at the house versus the Wizards in this one. It's a lot of points for the Mavs to be laying at the house, right? They hadn't really been covering spreads. We know that it's the Dinwiddie revenge game, Dinwiddie / Bertans, but especially Dinwiddie. What are we doing? Could we look at his props in this one?
The Bertans revenge game. Look out!
He come out there and bust 3.
Look out!
3 threes.
He might hit a shot on you. Davis Bertans revenge game. It's the least scary words in sports. The Davis Bertans
All right,
revenge game.
man.
Yeah. Oh, I got a sneaky play in this one. This is on all your domestic books. You could probably find it on some offshores. Look at Kyle Kuzma to get a double-double. I'm seeing plus 185. He's got double-double 3 games in a row. Porzingis is out, which leaves a lot of rebounds, and Kuzma has been the one getting him. I get a guy that's got 3 double-doubles in a row that is going to be playing a ton of minutes. He hasn't played since Saturday. 25 and 10, 27, 13, and 16 and 11. The last 3 games, I'm getting plus 185 on this prop. Sign me up. Just because the number isn't right. That's not the right number on plus 185. You're getting at least 50 cents worth of value on that one. So if you want to dabble, you could go Spencer Dinwiddie. The books are on to this one. It's minus 150 at 17 and a half.
Yeah, you gotta sell that up.
They at least bump it to 18 and a half at minus 105 or something, guys. So no, I mentioned the Hawks were playing good defense and they held Zach LaVine. They also held Luka Doncic under his points, rebounds, and assists. I do not see the same fate for Luka going up against this Wizards. As long as this game is close, it is a little bit of big number, and Washington, is not a very good team. But as long as the game's close enough and Luka plays, he should just have a monster game. They don't have anybody to body him up or hold him down. They would need a pretty bad shooting night for Luka to not get over his PRA. But I'm telling you, take a look at that Kyle Kuzma double-double. I like that play.
That's a good look there, especially at plus 185. I do agree with that. We know the points are gonna get there. It's all about the rebounds. With no Porzingis down there, that's probably gonna move there, man. But I'll be honest, I don't like to take props when I don't like the team to have a good game, man. That's just me. But no, don't get it twisted. That's price is not right, and I could definitely see Kuzma getting it, even in somewhat of a blowout loss here, man. I like the Mavs here, guys. I like them early. I like them often. You know what? The best bet in this game, if you have FanDuel or I don't know if you have DraftKings, and like I said, I'm not promoting them. They don't pay me shit, man. But I do know that at FanDuel, you can get the first quarter full time like basically parlay for minus 115 with the Mavs. They only need to be up by 1 point at the end of the first quarter, and they need to win the game in regulation, obviously by 1 point or more. So I'm taking that, man. Give me Mavs first quarter full time, basically a little parlay there of at FanDuel minus 115. But I'm also taking the Mavs in the first quarter minus 2.5. I'm taking them first half minus the 4, and I'm taking them full game minus the 7 as well. I took this one immediately when it opened up at minus 6. The Hachimura trade kind of came out, then they push it up to 7. Some books moving to 7.5. I don't care. I see a double-digit win here by the Mavericks here. I see a 15 to 20 point win, Smack City spot by the Mavs. This is a revenge spot. This is a 3 times revenge spot, but definitely revenge from this year. November 10th, guys, we took the Mavs on a trifecta spot. They were on a back-to-back. They were coming from a loss in Orlando. They took a bus ride up there to Washington, D.C. I didn't find this out until after the game. The full game was never in play, man. They got smoked in the second half of that game, only scored a total of 44 points as well. I took them first quarter, first half, full game that game. They were up 6 at the end of the first quarter, up by 3 at the first half, and then second half, they just absolutely ran out of gas. They've lost 3 straight versus the Wizards as well. This is the F Porzingis game. This is the fuck Porzingis game, man. He's not playing, but he will be over there on the bench. And I'm sure Luka is going to be, all right, good, watch this, Porzingis. This is why you should have kept your ass here, man. And I think Dinwiddie is going to go off as well, man. Bertans, don't be surprised he hit a couple threes as well. But I see him going crazy. 4th straight home game for the Mavs as well. Bounce back, must win J spot in this one, man. Wizards just traded Hachimura as well. Not sure, but the players don't want to be there. I can tell you that for sure. Kuzma's already asked out. They said that he's not touchable in a trade, but he's already told him he's not going to sign an extension with him. You're better off trading Kuzma, dumbasses. But regardless, that Bill didn't want to be there as well. Worried about the mindset of the Wizards here. Triple revenge spot for the Mavs. Give them to me. The number looks high. I think it's high for a reason. Mavs first quarter minus 2.5. Mavs first half minus 4, and Mavs full game minus the 7 as well, man. I was supposed to have my jacket on, but I forgot to put the jacket on today, Andy, but it's all good. Rocking with the Mavs trifecta and also taking that first quarter full time minus 115. That's good money right there, guys. A couple more games here, Andy. Let's go to the streets of Phoenix. Suns land 6 at the house versus the Hornets. You like anything here?
I can't believe we live in a world where Mason Plumlee keeps hitting his points, rebounds, and assists over, and at such a high number. What happened to this guy over the last, like, I don't know, call it 6 weeks? He's just been crushing his points, rebounds, and assists is 29 and a half. It looks to me like DeAndre Ayton is not going to play. He's doubtful on the injury report, so my guess is he doesn't play. My only worry with playing him is that this is a back-to-back, and I just don't. I haven't seen him on a back-to-back since December. The numbers all point in the right direction. It's 29. I mean, last night he only took 6 shots from the field, but he still had 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. So I guess you probably look at it, if you're cautious, you stay away because of the back-to-back. But if Chris Paul's playing, Chris Paul looked pretty good when he came back. I would look at his assist number. Charlotte gives up a ton of open shots. Their defense is, pretty much non-existent. So, so Chris Paul should not have problem finding open guys if they can bury their shots. I look at Chris Paul over their assists. This Phoenix team is tough, though, with all the injuries. They don't have any continuity. It's tough to find trends with them. So nothing strong in this game, but slight lean to Chris Paul over assist and Mason Plumlee over PRA.
Yeah, it's a tough game, man. I can only look towards Suns in this one. I don't like the spot for the Hornets. I believe last road game as well. Let me see, back-to-back coming from getting smacked up in Utah as well. I don't really care about this game, man. I'm only looking towards Suns. They are starting to put together. So they're already 17-7 at the house. So if you want to buy the Suns, it's going to be here. This is also the 4th straight home game as well. They do have the Mavs on deck, but I mean, you got to look at when you've been losing for so long when you're the Suns and you have a very winnable game in this one versus the Hornets. They already don't play much defense. They're already in the fade spot, back-to-back, 3rd game in 4 nights. It's not 4th and 6, but still 3rd game in 4 nights on the road here. Last game of the road trip. I can only look towards Suns here. Their defense really could just smother. Their defense could smother the Hornets, and then on offense, the Suns might look like the Harlem Globetrotters here, going up against this Hornets defense, guys. So I actually lean Suns to cover the spread here. I lean Suns -6. That's the only way that I can look in this game, my guys. Suns team total overs probably get there as well. Hornets. It's just they probably run out of gas. They already don't play enough defense. And in this spot, even if you were a defensive team, you wouldn't play defense, if that makes sense. So double no defense from the Hornets in this one, guys. Last game up, and let's go to the streets of LA here. We got the Lakers getting 5 points at the house versus the Clippers. This line opened up at 5. It dipped down to 3.5 last night, back up to 5 here. I guess Clippers money coming in. How you looking at this game? Like any props here?
Oh, man. I mean, take your pick with some of these bigger name guys. LeBron is going to be fired up. Kawhi is going to be fired up. Paul George. I actually might lean LeBron under points, rebounds, and assists. I think that the Clippers are going to throw everything at him. Kawhi is obviously not the defender that he once was, but he's at least a body that can, that can bang with LeBron and, try and body him up. Paul George can give some kind of assistance there. I kind of like Russell Westbrook over 18.5 points. Coming off the bench, he ends up going up against the second units where, he ends up being just, the best and most athletic player on the court at times. And if LeBron if is getting all the defensive attention, which he should, I think Westbrook gets some open looks. I'm not playing unders on Kawhi. I mean, the books already have his number at 26.5, so they've caught up with him real quick. Paul George, 22.5. Nothing too strong there. Got to say, nothing real strong. I do like the Clippers over their team total. This Lakers team isn't guarding anybody. They don't have anybody that can slow down George and Kawhi when they're on the court at the same time. So I look for the Clippers to have a good game. I think they score quite a few points. Player props, probably Russell Westbrook, but strongest lean in this game is definitely the Clippers on their team total.
Yeah, that's a good point there, man. I'm worried about the Lakers. I mean, it could have been like a confidence boosting win for them last game, man. They gave up that huge second quarter versus the Blazers. I mean, it was like 45-13, horrible. But then they outscored them like 75-41 in the second half of that game. So Lakers really locked down. May have some confidence with them like adding a player. I mean, don't get it twisted, guys. I've seen all this stuff in the media about Hachimura and stuff. He's not moving the needle for me, in my opinion. It's not going to move the championship price for a team, but it's at least good to see that they at least traded for somebody and at least tried to get some help in there, in my opinion. So it's got to be, you can only look at it positive for the Lakers. At least they got someone and kind of sort of gave up and I'm sure in their eyes they view none as a cancer and no one. So I want to lean Lakers there, guys. Now, this is what I have written down. Double revenge from this year. They've lost 9 straight games versus the Clippers. You could argue this isn't necessarily one of the strongest forms of the Clippers. They still have balls over there. They're just not a consistent team, especially like in a game. They can't really put together a whole 4 quarters, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers won this game or covered it. I'm off of it, man. This is a game that I'll watch. I just feel like I don't want to bet this game, man. So that's it for me. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did catch the Clippers napping here, because the Lakers, they have somewhat been showing me some of late, man. I watched the game versus the Blazers. They really showed some in the second half of that game, man. And we know Beverly, he's gonna be out there talking his shit as well. He used to play for the Clippers, so we know he's gonna be out there.
Patrick Beverly running his mouth? No.
Yeah, but any team, but when he goes up against the Blazers, Wolves, or Clippers, that's when you're getting peak Beverly. That's when you're getting the peak Patrick Beverly, man. So I can't wait to watch this game. Beverly is funny as hell to me. I can't wait to watch and see what he does, man. But let's get out of here. Let's talk about some free picks here, Andy. What you liking on tonight's card? What you got going over at Wager Talk, my brother?
A lot of things going up at Wager Talk. Jay, we cashed another 5% NFL bet on Saturday. That's 19-8 on NFL 5% big bets. So we are just rolling in those. We had another one up. Thank you. I appreciate that. We've also got another 5% bet in the UFC, and this is a few weeks out. There's some future lines out there that are just fantastic. So we put that up. We got a nice golf week. We've got some NBA and got a strong NHL play as well. So continue to hit the props, but honestly, just get the 5% NFL play. It's been moneymaker all season for us. We're up over 45 units in NFL, just on 5% plays in the NFL. So that's how well that they've been going for us. So we're low volume right now, which is how I prefer it. Just a couple plays here or there, going quality over quantity. For my best bet, we mentioned him earlier. I really do like Trey Murphy tonight. I think one of the reasons I like him is I think no matter what the Nuggets do with their lineup, he's going to be in good shape. He's been getting a ton of minutes. The only game that he hasn't played 33 or more minutes recently was the blowout in Miami. If the Nuggets play their starters, which I'm on the record, I do not think they do, they're going to need his production. He's going to be out there for a full slate. If they don't play their players, he's going to have good matchups across the board. He's been hitting this point total 17, 18, 17, 19, 15. That's 5 out of 6 games he's flown over this. 14.5 seems way too low. I suspect Denver rests their guys, leaving the door open for some really nice points production for the Pelicans. Give me Murphy as my best bet today.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off that, man. I think it'll be a Pelicans type of game, man. I don't bet against teams that are in super desperate spots, in my opinion, man. I think the Pelicans and the Pacers are in super desperate spots today, and they're at the house. So but I'm telling you, for me today, man, this is what I'm betting personally. Like I always tell people, man, you don't have to ride with me. This is what I like. Go with your gut, and if you want, you can fade them as well, man. I don't give a damn. But give me the Mavs in the first quarter. This is what I already bet. Mavs first quarter -2.5. Mavs first half -4. Mavs full game -7 as well. And I'm also a FanDuel. Like I said, they don't pay me anything, but I believe this is the only book, one of the only books that have this. Maybe BetMGM has it as well, but it's basically a first quarter and full game, basically money line parlay. But the Mavs need to be up at the end of the first quarter by at least 1 point, and they have to win the game in full time by obviously at least 1 point. So that's -115 at FanDuel. I really think that's a very solid play. I'd kind of say that's really the best bet of the day, man. But that one, the first quarter full time money line parlay, -115 for the Mavs. First quarter -2.5. First half -4. Full game -7. I'm also taking the Cavs -3, man. Revenge game Jay. See what I'm saying? That one couldn't talk you off taking some Cavs team total overs. It might be a better look taking the Cavs team total overs, not even messing with the spread. How the Knicks defense been, but I am taking Cavs -3. That's what I do. I take sides, and I want to take Pacers +2, guys. No one likes this play. Everybody's on the Bulls today, but I think the Pacers +2 get this win today. I fully believe Pacers get the win. The Pelicans as well. P and P's, man. The desperation desperation teams at the house, catching a fishy line. I think the Pelicans going to get this win as well today, my guys. And I do lean to the Lakers as well. It's not something I'm going to bet, but I do lean Lakers plus the 5. That's the show today, man. Appreciate my guy Andy every Tuesday, man, doing the show with me. The prop guy, talking some props, man. Y'all go check him out on Wager Talk. 19-8 on the 5% NFL plays, man. He will cash again this weekend, my guys, and we will cash today. Let's fucking go. Let's get this cash, guys. We out. Back tomorrow.